Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 8 of What If Godlike Naruto was sent to the Marvel Universe. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto got OP weapons on this channel guys. And also over on Anime Prince, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto was half Quincy and half Soul Reaper, so go ahead and enjoy that guys. And on Anime King, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto was the Oni of Death, so go ahead, check out that and enjoy guys. And also I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto fused with Minato, Kushina and Kurama over on Anime King 3. If you're new, yes, I have 4 channel guys, Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, and Anime Prince, which I post what fun every single day. Yes, you heard that correctly, every single day for you guys to enjoy, so go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family, and thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to go ahead and check out the other channels, and yeah, without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this new episode guys? Begin now. So, the last spot we left off. Clint was freaking out. He had no other option but to use the knife that Naruto had given Natasha as she had left it at their place. Lucky thing his wife had overheard what Naruto had said. However, he was waiting for a good 5 minutes until they arrived. Natasha quickly laid out her orders as both her and Naruto made their way in the room. Naruto performed hand signs as he covered the room in sealing conches everywhere to sterilize the room, as they then made her give birth. Sometime later, Clint heard the baby crying. As he went to the room, he hugged his wife. As the both of them spent some time together, giving birth was rather exhausting, so she ended up falling asleep with the newborn baby, as they placed him in his crib. When they came back to the room, Clint saw his daughter playing with some new toys. There was a lot of them, like a whole lot, as Naruto had just pulled them out of nowhere, just like what he did for Tony's baby. As Clint marched over towards him, however, he forgot that Naruto could just teleport. So with that, him and Nat went down to make some dinner. As they got down there and they started to talk, Natasha could not tell him everything because of the bead on her hands. Threatening that she was strapped to a bomb, Clint started to freak out. However, she told him that she was fine. All he had to do was calm himself down, but she still couldn't reveal a few things. They went to test out his new bow and arrow, as it was rather destructive. Naruto had upgraded the thing as Clint was shocked. However, his wife had woken up with a newborn baby that was crying, and they were pissed. The sound was rather loud, as Natasha decided to take a play out of Naruto's handbook and left. In the next 2 days, a lot happened. She was called back to Sheila as she sat down and spoke with Nick Fury. She could not tell him a few things as he realized that, as he wanted a written report though. However, Natasha watched as he was talking about the Adventure Initiative. He wanted to build a group of superhumans that would be able to handle threats like Naruto, or Naruto if he comes up to it. However, he wanted to know if Naruto was interested in joining, and it was up to her to find out about that. As she sighed, once again in annoyance. She had been taken back to Wakanda after that as he spoke to them. Once they were able to settle down, Naruto cooked for them. And let's just say they were immensely happy with their cuisine, as he allowed them to put their shop in towards their location. The testing then happened as Naruto took a handful, a ball of sorts of vibranium, to see if he could destroy it, as the scientists believed that he could not. However, Naruto's temperature got so hot he was hotter than the sun, as he summoned the Amaterasu flames, the flames from hell itself. The vibranium was turned to dust, shocking all of them. as Natasha was just more and more curious by Naruto. He then took her away once again as they went to a rather lovely place, where Naruto cooked for her. They spent that night together, sleeping together as well. While that was going on, Jonathan, Pangborn, received some news about the nine-tailed fox. So with that, he called back towards the Ancient One. As he projected his spirit there, he told her everything that he found out. Hearing that, she had her loyal subject gather a group, as they were going out to meet up with this nine-tailed fox. She would like to have a word with him. While that was going on, Natasha woke up. As she looked at the clock, Fury would be pissed about this, however. Screw it, she was on a long-term mission, she thought to herself. A secret mission that just came up. She's gonna have to explain that though. She made her way downstairs. Before anything could happen between her and Naruto, she'd like to know more about him. So Naruto explained his history, however he left out a lot. As she saw that he was a bit hesitant to talk about a lot of things. As he went to the bathroom to wash his face, something had happened with him in the Elemental Nation and Hinata. There was a reason why Naruto had left that he never fully got into details about. However, it seems like Hinata had died. There was a reason why Naruto took all the tailed beasts and left the world. Something deeply happened to him. And even now, however the tailed beasts told him that, Hinata will be rather angry if they know he was still moping after all these years, as he figured that they were right. As he went back, he did not tell Natasha that he possessed all of the 9 tailed beasts now. She only believed that he still had the Kyuubi, or how powerful he was basically a god. But he did not tell her any of that. Soon after, Fury called in, speak of the devil, and he would appear. So yeah guys, basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across the playcheck of yourself, and what do you say we jump right into this new episode? Begin now guys. We begin this new episode at the RAF base hospital in UK. As Naruto was walking down the hallway with a pep in his step, he could confidently say that he was currently living a happy life. And at the forefront of that was Natasha, the Black Widow herself. The good thing about having an immortal beast made of chakra is that he could tell that her feelings are at least real, without doing anything drastic. Although Kurama was all for having Natasha as a mate, he still monitored emotions on her, as the others were in agreement to this. After all, she was a spy. A part of her job was to make people fall for her and do her bidding. Their second date was awesome. It took a while for them to find a proper date since Fury gave Nat a surveillance job. However, they were able to get some time to themselves, and they were also able to tinker with her bike collection. He hadn't introduced her to Chakra Metal yet, so he wasn't able to make her bike monstrous. But with a bit of tinkering, it was a powerhouse for sure. Speaking of knowledge, he was finally able to learn some things from Tony. He was an unorthodox teacher who get distracted a lot and focused most on the hands-on approach. He was even able to help Tony with a problem of his. Flashback. Maybe I should just do the railgun project. That would be a whole lot easier. Naruto heard Tony say as they were both working on some projects on the computer. As Naruto was trying to figure out how to integrate a jet engine onto his bike. What are you working on anyway? You've been mulling over it for almost a month now, said Naruto, as he walked over towards Tony's station. Rudy brought over a problem for me, said Tony, as he rubbed his forehead. Some general decided that he wants a horizontal explosive missile. What the hell is that, said Naruto. Well, the guy doesn't want a circular explosion. He wants a missile that can wipe out a rail of troops across a mountain range, like the mountain ranges in Afghanistan. So what's the problem you're running into, said Naruto. I can't just make a missile that will bomb the whole mountain range. It will cost a lot for the explosive alone. Don't even get me started on the delivery device. Then why don't he just fire multiple rockets? Because it will cost too much, said Tony with a groan. How about smaller missile or a mobile battery, said Naruto. The range isn't enough. I want a full-size missile that can act as a mobile battery. Why don't you just stuff some small missiles inside of a larger rocket? Kind of like a cluster bomb with individual rockets. You can launch a large one carrying the smaller missiles, and once it is in range, they will fire off. That way you can make any shape of explosion you want. Tony sat there as he thought about what Naruto just said. As he's running the numbers, blast radius, production cost, and travel radius, Tony looked towards Naruto with a smile. Holy shit, he said. I could just kiss you right now, he said. Please don't do that, said Naruto. I have enough trauma with that, said Naruto as he distanced himself, as he can't help but remember his first kiss when he was younger. As Naruto was backing away from Tony as he looked towards him skeptically. In the flashback, Tony estimated that he could make a prototype by the end of the year and a finished project by the next. As Naruto was musing over Tony's pet project, he finally reached the destination as he made his way inside. Inside the room, it was styled like a 70s bedroom, with balloons and greeting cards and flowers. Lying down on the bed was a 86-year-old British woman, Margaret Elizabeth Carter, or Peggy for short. She is the woman that started it all. Born in 1921, she first joined the Royal Army before she was recruited into MI5 as a cryptographer. Being one of their best recruits, she was loaned to the Strategic Scientific Reserve, or SSR. It was a predecessor of SHIELD. She was one of the head of Project Rebirth, a super secret US project to create super soldiers, which had created Captain America, the only success of the program. There was an unexpected bloom of romance between Roger and Carter's. However, it came to an end when the captain crashed his plane into the Arctic. Fueled by her loss, she started to create SHIELD in the honor of Rogers. With Howard Stark, she became the first director and continued to protect the world, just like Rogers would have done. She had tried to move on in her life though, but the love that she had for Steve was just too much. Now she was waiting to reunite with him. She heard the door open as she saw a tall blonde man wearing blue jeans, white sneakers, a black jacket over a white orange shirt. He walked over to a chair and brought it towards the side of the bed. In the old days, she would have been wary of a stranger coming into her room, but her age allowed her to relax even more, accepting what is to come. The two just kept on staring at one another until the man finally spoke. Would you mind if I just remain here until Sharon arrives? It will be easier to introduce myself to the both of you at the same time. As she saw the man pull out a large bowl of ramen from literally nowhere. Sure, go ahead, she said with a small smile. Although from the inside she was trying to figure out who the hell was this man. After a while, the door opened up to reveal a blonde, 5 feet 8 inches woman. She was Sharon Carter, the great niece of Peggy Carter herself. She had joined SHIELD at the age of 18. She didn't want to go through the ranks because of her last name, so she did not use it. She would just go by Sharon, or Agent 13. Today was her aunt's birthday and she was here to visit. However, now she saw an unknown man inside, eating ramen. The hospital had secret protocols to make sure no one unwanted would get in. So either he was well connected, or he was that good that he can just walk into a secure hospital. Sharon immediately drew her gun and pointed towards him, but he wasn't even fazed at all, as he just still sat there. Who are you, and what do you want? She asked in a threatening tone. I'm the guy that's about to finish my ramen, and I'm obviously here for a visit. Rude, he said, as he kept on eating. To be fair, you entered the room without knocking, said Peggy. We're talking about your niece here, not me, he said, as he drank the rest of the ramen. As he placed the bowl on the bedside table as he looked towards Sharon, not really bothered by the gun that was pointing in his face. Pull up a chair, too tired to talk, while you're still standing up. Sharon thought about it as she pulled up a chair, however, she did not move her gun. Really? Can't you remove the gun? She just glared at him. Before I leave today, we're all gonna be buddies. As he held his hand out, a cube suddenly appeared in his palm. I'll even bet this thing. Is that? Peggy asked hesitantly. Even though she's quite old, she will never forget anything about Steve. Even the material that made his shield. A large cube of vibranium. Yep. Apparently, this thing is worth around $4 billion. The answer, Floor, Peggy and Sharon. According to Howard, the metal that he used on Roger's shield was one of a kind. Virtually indestructible and versatile. The perfect metal, he called it. But now here is this guy coming out of nowhere with a large piece of vibranium and willing to bet it like it was nothing. $4 billion of nothing. Who are you? Said Sharon. Me? Haven't I introduced myself yet? He said. Well, the name is Naruto Uzumaki, but most people call me Ninetales. The both of them were shocked to hear they were talking to. In the 2 years that he was active, the Ninetales became the boogeyman of the criminal world. The information you sell is always top class, and the payment is cheap compared to the value of the info. There was multiple criminal groups and terrorist groups that were taken down because of him. It's mercenary business on the other hand. That is what strikes fear into everyone. It always ends badly for the opposite side. And no one knew what he looked like. And now this guy is claiming to be Ninetales. Sharon decided to reach for a phone to call Fury, but the man spoke. I wouldn't try to call Fury if I was you. Her hand paused when she heard his voice. You're going to want to listen to what I have to say. But if that one-eyed troll tried to interrupt this meeting, I'm out, said Naruto. She was curious enough to distance her hand away from her phone, but her gun was still up. To make things easier for all of us, I'm going to let you ask one question that I'm going to answer, said Naruto. Both of you. Peggy immediately grabbed onto the offer. How did you get that much vibranium? The father of my friend gave me some, said Naruto. Of course that was not the whole truth. Naruto took the vibranium from Wakanda. When he asked for a piece to study it, it was rather simple. He had tried to create it on his own, but despite using the creation of all, it came out a bit different. However, when he had burned that vibranium, that was just misplacement. He didn't really burn it, he took it home. While he could still destroy it with ease, he took it home so he could study it. And now he could make as much as he wants, whenever he wants. Sharon on the other hand used her question to learn more about him. Where are you hiding? Wow, that's a stupid question, said Naruto, as she flinched at that. I'm not hiding, he said. You don't need to hide if no one knows who you are. Or the ones that know, don't tell anyone else. So someone knew who he was and did not tell anyone. The only one that they can think of who probably know that was Fury. But why wouldn't he tell anyone, they wonder. Now, to why I came here. I'm here to offer you, to extend your life. To make you physically younger. I can make you as young as when you were 21. And also counteract the early stage of your Alzheimer's. The two of them were shocked as hell hearing that. However, Sharon was shocked. And Peggy, when were you gonna tell me about that? Peggy gave Naruto a hard glare. Hey, I didn't know she didn't know, said Naruto. You, said Sharon, shut up. As she turned towards her aunt. Why didn't you tell me? Peggy released a deep sigh. Because I didn't want you to worry. I'll always worry, Aunt Peggy. That's my job, said Sharon. Ahem, said Naruto, clearing his throat. As Sharon glared at him for interrupting. Will you accept or not, he said. I still want to hear the answer. No, I won't, she said immediately. She was ready to join Steve wherever he might be. You know, said Naruto, you're not going to find him in the afterlife. Her eyes narrowed. What are you talking about? Before I answer that, how much do you trust Sharon? Sharon took that as an offense. Because I'm going to drop 2 bombs on you, and these pieces of information will change everything for you. I trust her with my life, said Peggy. How about the fate of the world, said Naruto. Peggy was a bit taken aback by that, but she answered quickly after recovering. I trust her with that too. Sharon was touched by her aunt's faith in her, but Naruto questions make her rather curious. First of all, Hydra is not gone, they're in S.H.I.E.L.D. Growing and waiting for time to strike. How? Said Peggy, in shock. As far as I can tell, S.H.I.E.L.D. recruitment of ex-Hydra agents backfired, but I'm not sure. There are Hydra inside of S.H.I.E.L.D., and you think I might be one of them, says Sharon. Nope, I know you're clean. I just want to know how much your aunt trusts you. Does Fury know about this, said Peggy. Oh yeah, I gave it to him more than 2 months ago. I think he's planning some counter-offensive. As Peg couldn't believe it, the agency that she built to honor Steve's legacy was being used by the enemy. The second thing is the captain is still alive. Peggy almost had a panic attack when she heard that. Tears started to fall down her eyes as Sharon grabbed her hand to comfort her. How do you know? This is gonna sound weird, said Naruto, but I can contact the dead. So what, said Sharon. She wasn't fazed by that. She has been working with S.H.I.E.L.D. for a decade now. She knew there was a lot of weird things out there. I contacted a lot of famous souls to chat with. Cleopatra, Alexander the Great, Einstein. However, when I try to call on people who are still alive, all I receive is static. I did that for the captain, and I received static. Steve. His name is Steve, said Peggy. Oh my god, he might still be frozen, she said. That is what I thought about as well. Colston's already looking into it. Peggy now understands why Phil has been visitor more recently. He was gathering information. So the question is, will you accept my offer? Why are you doing this, said Peggy. As much as you want to be with Steve, why? Was this person being so nice? Can't I just be doing this out of the kindness of my heart? No, I'm good at reading people, and I can see there's a personal reason for this. Fine. I need a weak test subject for the final test of my experiment. What is this experiment for, she said. Mostly regeneration, but will also make someone something like a super soldier. As Sharon realized, if he was already in the final stages, then he most likely know that it will work. This could change the playing field. I'm tweaking the last part to make sure it will work for everyone. So I decided to offer you a chance. I would like to warn you though, you still may die. As Peggy thought about it, if Steve's still alive, they can't be together in a short time she had left. Extending her life and increasing her vitality would make sure when Steve was found, they can have their happily ever after. So after 5 minutes of silence, she asks, "What do you need from me?" "I need you to die," said Naruto. Time skip. "Babe, we can't keep doing this," said Natasha. As she lined up of Naruto, she was out of breath. "What, sex?" said Naruto. "Yeah," she said. "Why?" he asked. "I can't keep up," she said. It was now June the 23rd, 2007. His visit with Peggy was in April, and now he was with Natasha. "Where the hell do you even get that stamina from?" she said. They've been together for 4 months now. The 4 months have been the best memory that she ever had. For the first time, she can finally see herself with someone. Their whole relationship might be unorthodox, but it worked for them. Fury can't even reprimand her for canoodling with the enemy, because Naruto was more of an ally than a foe. She knows that he still have a lot of secrets, but she's confident enough that he will open up more to her, and she to him. The only thing that she can complain about was also a blessing. They had a stupid amount of great sex. It was at least once a week, and it wasn't a quickie, seeing that she really gets some time off. It lasted from about 3 till 9. Yeah, it was long, like a marathon, leaving her sore, tired and satisfied every time. Even after their marathon session though, as she was trying to catch her breath, he was never tired. The Uzumakis have larger chakra reserves than anyone, and also more vitality and stamina. Basically, an average Uzumaki has 5 to 10 times the natural amount of chakra and endurance as any other average shinobi. Add to the fact I'm a Jinjulki, well, you get the picture. So you're telling me that everyone from your mother's side was a freaking bed? As she asked a teasing grin. Please don't say that. My mind just imagines stuff with my mother, and I don't want to think about that. It certainly doesn't help that Kurama knows about it, said Naruto. It was 2 weeks ago when he told her about Kurama. He even told her about his mother being a Jinjulki, and the ability to summon Kurama outside of his body. But there is something that he needs to do first before he can safely summon a being of pure chakra to this world. But seriously, how did your family deal with that? Natasha said, referring to the whole endurance problem. Well, the Uzumakis usually couple up with another Uzumaki, so they don't have problem with that. But in a case where Uzumakis couple up with another non-Uzumaki, there is 2 options. As Naruto remembered the books that he got from the library back in his world. Either the outsider is married through a special ritual that will lessen the gap of vitality by siphoning from the Uzumaki and sending it towards the mate. Or he paused. Or what, she said. Just say it. The Uzumakis will have multiple wives or husbands. Like a harem? Not like a harem. Exactly a harem, he said. And this is normal in your world, she said to him. Having a polygamy relationship. She nodded. Yeah, pretty much, said Naruto. You have to remember that being a shinobi has a life expectancy of 20 to 35 years old. And like 70% of them are males, causing a balance to swift between genders. So there's a lot of polygamous relationships in the low levels, while the higher ones have open secret relationships. Adding to that the CRA laws. CRA, she said. The Clan Restoration Act. When a clan is down to its last 10 survivors due to any circumstances, he or she is required to take on multiple partners to rapidly increase their numbers with as much genetic diversity as possible. The more valuable a clan is, the higher the partners. It can be anywhere from 3 to 20. You're basically made into a baby machine. He said that shake of his head. He didn't really like CRA laws, they're just too forceful for him. It's one thing to have a polygamous relationship out of love, but having one forced on you is just wrong. He can't even imagine being a woman in that scenario. That's probably one of the reasons why Snelly batched and left. Wait, aren't you the last Uzumaki? Doesn't that mean you'll be forced to marry at least 3 people, she said. Yeah, good thing I dodged that bullet, said Naruto, with a sigh of relief. With how many high-position clans ended, and will start with me, the Kages, they'll probably force me to have at least 50 partners. As Naruto had a rather large lineage. The obvious ones are the Uzumaki and Namikaze. The first one is for their vitality, Fuinjutsu, and adamantine chains, and their natural chakra reserves. The second one is for their speed, fighting instincts, and intelligence that rival the Nara's. Then there's the Senju and the Uchiha clans, former rivals. The reawakening of the Mokitan bloodline, the only bloodline that can hold a Biju. The Uchiha came from his father's side, since Namikaze was a clan form before the foundation of Konoha. They were the rejects of the Uchiha, unable to unlock their Sharingan, and also the latent bloodlines that activated due to Kaguya blood mixing with his own. These are the Hyuga, the Kaguya, and the Otsutsuki clan. Kurama had confirmed that he could use the Kaguya bloodline, but he just doesn't use it. The whole of that bone thing freaked him out. And then the Otsutsukis, considered to be gods of the shinobi world because of Kaguya, Hagoromo, and Hamura, speculated to have immortality and the evolved version of the Byakugan, the Tenseigan. They have many more attributes, but there's just too much to mention. Not to mention he has all the bloodline running through his veins. Yeah, the villagers will go to war because of him. As Naruto glanced towards Natasha as he saw her in deep thought. Babe, what are you thinking about? She had this look in her eyes. I just thought of something I never thought I would be turned on to, she said. Well, said Naruto, maybe I can help you with that. Maybe you can, she said, as she leaned in towards him. Well, good night, she said. Be careful tomorrow, as she rolled over and nodded off. As Naruto was left there all hot and bothered. Shit, he said to himself. Time skip. Natasha was walking back to the building where her safe house was at after buying some groceries. As she was wearing jeans, a white blouse, a pistol, tucking on her back. Naruto was already gone when she woke up, as he left a note and some food on the table for her. There were some gigs that he just didn't want to pass up, and she could understand that. When she got onto the elevator, a younger woman rushed in and got on before the doors closed. She was 5'9", Caucasian, pale skin, green eyes, and wavy black hair, black shirt covered by a black leather jacket, and black boots. Her name is Jessica Jones. She was an enhance. Sheila has been monitoring her ever since she was 14 years old, after being revived when her family car crashed. On April 13, 2000, she's been an introvert since she was a child. But with the accident and the death of her former boyfriend 2 years ago, it caused her to develop survivor guilt and PTSD, as it caused her to be a bit unstable, often dreaming about the day of the accident, as she used alcohol to try to forget, but because of her enhancement, it barely does nothing. When the accident happened, an unknown organization got their hands on her and performed an experiment on her known as the IGH, a reproduction of the super soldier serum. It gave her strength, speed, endurance, and regeneration, and that messed with her intake of alcohol. As for her personal life, she barely has any sense. The death of her boyfriend, she even distanced herself from the Walkers, her adoptive family, even Trish Walker, her sister, her best friend. The reason Natasha Warehouse was in the same building as Jessica was because when Jessica started to do some hero stuff, Fury wanted someone to keep a close eye on her from time to time. The thought that Natasha had with Naruto ever since that talk, she had a plan on her mind. If everything goes as planned, Naruto would be happy, Jessica would be happy, and weirdly enough, she would be happy as well. Hey Jess, said Natasha. Oh, hey Sasha. Natasha was going under the name Sasha Roth when she's using this warehouse. They had formed some friendship when they would occasionally hang out. Want to come by the apartment? Natasha asked. Jessica thought about it for a moment. She just came from quitting another job. Maybe she could use a drink right now. Is your boyfriend in there? She asked first. No, said Natasha. She thought it was a weird question to ask. Why? She said. I just don't want to meet the guy who's keeping half the building awake when he's with you. I might punch him. Kudos by the way, said Jessica. Natasha slightly turned red hearing that answer. She already knew that Jess is a blunt person, but sometimes she surprised even her. She need to activate blackout protocol before doing anything else. Are we that loud? Natasha asked. Yeah, the building sometimes shake from time to time. I don't know if it's in my head or not. And yeah, I can swing by. Natasha nodded, but on the inside she was a bit mortified. She need to tame down Naruto enthusiasm or get a bed with shock absorbers. Maybe both. The elevator door opened up as Natasha spoke out of the blue. You can't hurt him with just a punch. What? Said Jess, confused. My boyfriend. She felt like a teenager describing him like that. Your punch wouldn't hurt him. Doubt it. I'm a lot stronger than how I look, said Jessica, as she was talking about her super strength, unaware that Natasha knew about it. If you say so, said Natasha, as she opened the door. She dropped off the groceries before she got the wine and the vodka. She already expect heavy drinking. When she got back, she saw Jess on the sofa, as she activated the blackout protocol for the conversation that she was gonna have. Normally she wouldn't do something as stupid as this, but there was a lot of things she was doing lately. Naruto's presence had really stirred up her life a lot, and she wanted to give this a try. As she poured herself a glass of wine, Jessica filled her cup straight to the brim with a mixture of vodka and wine. So, how have you been doing lately? Natasha said, starting the conversation. Just quit my job, so that's that, said Jessica with a sigh. They talked for about an hour. They talk about a lot of stuff, but nothing personal like they usually do. As Natasha realized this was a perfect time. Hey Jess, I haven't been completely honest with you. Jessica went on guard. She had a distrust of a lot of things, and anyone. So she prepared herself. I'm going to tell you some stuff that will alarm you, and I want you to listen through it before asking any questions. At the end of this talk, I'll ask a proposition that will definitely sound weird. Jessica moved to the far side of the couch, putting some distance between them, but she was willing to listen. She was breaking protocol and rules by going through with this. As she thought about them, but she still went ahead. First of all, my name is not Sasha. That's an alias I use when I stay here. So what's your name? Said Jessica, not seeing the big deal about an alias. It's Natasha Romanoff. I'm a spy and an assassin working for a secret international US-based intelligence. Jessica started to laugh at hearing that. That's a good one. Damn, haven't had a good laugh in a long while. However, Natasha was not laughing. Holy shit, you're not kidding, are you? The organization I work for deals with problems that the world is not ready to face. Highly advanced technology or supernatural stuff is in our ballpark. As Jessica realized what Natasha was saying, a whole government agent knew about her and sent a spy to watch her. The reason why Sasha only stay here once a month made sense. When you start to do vigilante work, my boss decided that it's better if someone more experienced keep an eye on you. So what? This was just all a job, said Jessica, hiding a stab of pain. No, if anything, I shouldn't even be telling you this, but I enjoy your company. Are you trying to recruit me to this spy agency of yours? No, said Natasha. It's something weirder. Alright, spit it out. What's so weird? I want you to join a threesome with me and my boyfriend. What? That doesn't connect with anything you've said. Not really, but he's enhanced like you. Enhanced? That is what we call people with superhuman abilities. What does it have to do with me? He has similar abilities to you, only more powerful. You can see where I'm going with this. Jessica wanted to shove her question back to her, but she would like to meet someone like her. The prospect of someone finally keeping up with her in bed was starting to get her a bit hot. And not to mention Natasha is also smoking hot, so that helped the case. The only downside was Natasha lied to her, and was part of an organization that monitored her. She was about to give an answer when the door opened. Hey babe, said Naruto, as he saw Natasha talk to her neighbor. Instantly, what happened this morning came back into his mind, as a shiver went down Naruto's spine. As he wondered, hey Naruto, meet my neighbor, Jessica Jones. Jess, this is my boyfriend, Naruto Uzumaki. If that is what you look like, we can try a menage a trois with a trial basis. Naruto froze hearing that. As he looked towards the look on Natasha's face, he panicked. And when he panicked, he ended up vanishing. That is what he did as he hurried away. Jessica was shocked by him just disappearing. He just vanished. You'll get used to it, so let's talk logistics. At Start Mansion, Los Angeles. It was Saturday. As Pepper and Tony was bonding with Morgan, there was no phones, no projects, they were just bonding. Jarvis is monitoring the calls for anything that might need a necessary response. As Naruto had given Morgan so much toys, it had filled the walk-in closet. As they were there playing with the toys with Morgan, when they heard someone run down the stairs. This would have usually alarmed a normal person, but they have been living with Naruto for some time now, and they know who he was. Tony! 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 Naruto shouted as he rushed down. Oh, he greeted the other two. I need your help. Tony stood up as he's never seen Naruto panic before, so he was on alert. What? He said. What do you do when your girlfriend asks you to a threesome with another girl? It took Tony a second before he punched Naruto right in the face. What are you still doing here? Just go and say yes. As Naruto nodded before he ran away. As he then turned, remembering, Pepper was giving him a disapproval glare. You're sleeping on the couch tonight. Time skip, September 9, 2007. Natasha and Naruto was currently making breakfast, while Jessica was still sleeping on the bed. Ever since Jessica decided to join their weird partnership, Natasha was able to wake up a lot earlier after a night of sex. When Naruto came back, after his abrupt disappearance, Natasha had to talk him into accepting the new arrangement, which to the two girls were rather weird. What guy doesn't run head straight into something like that when it was your own girlfriend that suggested it? It took him almost 2 hours to even be decided to go over it. And even then, well, he wanted to know her first, so that meant they had to go on a date. Jessica almost backed out of it, as she quote, she didn't sign up for this emotional shit. However, Natasha talked her back into it. Now, a lot of other women would be throwing a fit finding out that their boyfriend is going on a date with another woman, but their boyfriend aren't a super powered, superhuman, overpowered alien that was from another world, that was the most feared information broker, mercenary. And also, Natasha noticed something about Naruto. He's a rather emotional individual who hid it behind a mask of cheeriness. She believed that his childhood was a lot more worse than he let on. Not to mention his loyalty. It was hard to gain it, but when you have it, you had it forever. She could tell that he would follow her through hell. The same she would do for him, although none of them said to each other, as she knew that he would not just go and have sex with anyone. That's why she already thought about the date. If Jessica was able to worm her way into their hearts in the future, well, that was for the future. As the date had went off, flashback, Naruto knocked on the door, as he was still kind of surprised about the whole thing. He was wearing burnt orange pants, black slip-on shoes, a black and white covered jacket, with a white shirt underneath. Natasha joined him, going out of the building, as she gave him a final encouragement before they separate, as she had to go deal with some business, as Naruto wondered if he was trapped into some infinite Tsukiyomi. However, Kurama reminded him that he had the Sharingan, which made him realize that all illusion against him was pretty much useless. Jessica then opened the door. She was wearing a dark brown leather jacket, grey jeans, and black high-heel boots. She had her hands in her pockets, her head slightly bowed down, and her hair partially covering her face. As Naruto could see her insecurities, her desire to be away from people. Weirdly enough, her behavior reminded him of Tsunade Bachan before she became the Hokage. That thought gave him a great idea. So, want to get out of here, he said. Sure, whatever, she said, as she walked out and locked the door, as Naruto motioned for her to hold onto his hand. What the hell is that, she said. We're not gonna do all that couple shit. We have no time for this, he says. He reached out to grab her shoulder, which he did. As she lashed out and grabbed his arm, she was about to break it. However, a strange feeling of disorientation filled her, as they were in a new place. You can let me go now, said Naruto. They were on a side road surrounded by trees. Where are we, she said. Somewhere in North Moscow, said Naruto. Russia? How the hell did we end up in Russia? Naruto gave her a look like she was stupid. For our date, of course, he said, as he stepped aside, revealing his bike. As he had 2 helmets, as he tossed one to her as she caught it. Come on, he said. This is a bad idea, she whispered to herself. When huge racing bikes appear out of nowhere, you know that something bad's about to happen. It's not a bad idea if we have fun, said Naruto. She got on, as she did not hold on to him. You should grab onto something, said Naruto. However, she did not answer. Okay, don't say I didn't warn you. As he revved the bike before shooting off, she had no choice but to grab onto him. As they reached the highway, he kept on zooming until they were in the heart of Moscow. The adrenaline pumping through her system as they weaved through the crowd. It made her feel more looser. As they arrived towards a bar, it looked to be like 50 years old. As Naruto parked the bike at the alleyway, as he got off. When we get inside, let me do all the talking first until I tell you. You can loosen up. Sure, she said, because everyone speak Russian. Her tone was sarcastic. Don't worry, I made this for you, said Naruto, as he showed her a black choker. It will make you understand everything they say, and for you to hear anything they say in any language. And they will understand what you're saying as well. Don't question how it works because I'm not gonna say. She took it as she pulled on her scarf. Thank you, she said. You're welcome, he said to her. Wobbly tables, creaky floorboard. Overall, it's a bar that not even she would go to. The bartender was a 5 feet 9 inches older man, with balding hair and brown eyes. He's wearing an old brown sweater with over a white shirt. Godlike. Got any available seats? Ah, Mr. Vasilian, of course. We always have a seat for you. The now Godlike greeted. I see you finally brought a woman, huh? No, not like that, said Naruto. We're still getting to know each other. Can you get me 6 bottles of your strongest drink? Sure thing, he said, as he reached for 6 bottles of clear alcohol on the bar. The name was Spargus. Now be sure not to drink this as it is, as Naruto picked them up and handed one to Jessica. As he placed some rubles on the table. Thanks, he said. I'll see you before we leave. As he walked through and went down some trapdoor, Jessica followed behind him in silence. She knows that you're speaking Russian, but she can understand everything, even the inflections, and all of it because of this choker she's wearing. She opened the bottle and took a swig, however that was a bad idea, as she started to cough. Oh, I should have warned you. That's 95% alcohol. Naruto warned a bit too late as she gave him a hard glare. They arrived through a large metal door as Naruto knocked twice, as a peephole opened up. The man checked them out before he opened the door. He looked like a twin of the bartender. However, he was wearing a suit. Mr. Vasilian, welcome back. Are you going to participate or speculate? Gregory, it's good to be here. I'm just going to be a spectator, but this lady here is going to participate, as he pointed toward Jess. Are you sure, said Gregory. Oh yeah, she can handle herself, said Naruto. Very well then, said Gregory, as he walked them inside. Hey, what did you just sign me up to, said Jessica. Here's the rundown. This place is a criminal paradise. A lot of the world's most wanted come down here, through one point or another. And you're gonna fight against every mean asshole in there. All of them are bad guys in every sense of the word. The lowest of the low. You will fight them in a no-rule fight. The fight can only stop through surrender or death. She finally understands his date plan, and she had to say, she liked it. What are we waiting for, she said. Come on. End the flashback. The period came back, and they were laughing and happily coming along, as they had told Nat the story of Jessica taken down, warlords and all that, as Naruto used it to mine information on the criminal underworld. After a few more outings, Naruto was, well, he was up for the idea. The first time it happened though, it was a lot of awkward moments, but as the night went on, it was amazing. Hey, you got a safe house that you don't use? A place that only you know, said Naruto. Why, she said. I got a surprise for everyone, but it will take at least 3 to 5 years to prepare. And I need an isolated place to prepare. You know, people tend to have a mini panic attack when you tend to plan surprises. Don't worry about this one. Everyone's gonna love it. She sighed. She walked over towards a pen and paper before she wrote her address and gave it to him. That's a house outside of a medium-sized town in Switzerland. It's far enough away that no one accidentally go near to it, but near enough that you can make a day of buying stuff from the town. Tell me when you're done with it. I still want us to use it. Thank you, said Naruto, as he hugged her, before he released her and picked up his jacket. I gotta go. Don't wait here for me. Love you, he said, as he kissed her, and vanished away. Natasha froze. That was the first time either of them said the L word, and she did not know how to react. She's never really heard it from anyone. Being that top-level, secret assassination training facility did not really focus on relationships. She must have been standing there for a long time since Jessica was the one that snapped her out of it. Tasha, hey, are you alright, said Jess. He told me he loved me. What? He told me he loved me, she said once again, this time a bit louder. Are you telling me that you guys pushed forward a threesome before you said the L word to one another? Natasha nodded. You guys are weird, said Jess. Time skip. As Naruto arrived towards Peggy's room, not realizing what he just done. The bitches would have told him, but they decided that they would let him work out for himself. As Peggy and Sharon was inside, they were both more relaxed. Then when they first met up, flashback. I need you to die, said Naruto. Sharon instantly reacted as she pulled the trigger, BAM! As Naruto's head pulled back, Peggy was shot by development as she would press the button herself to call for the guards if the gunshot did not notify them already. But before she could press the button, Naruto groaned, as there wasn't even a mark on his face. As he spat something in his hand, it was a bullet. You're a step down from Clint's reaction, but still not cool, said Naruto. What are you? Said Sharon. As Naruto turned towards Peggy. Is she always this rude? Seriously. Set your fears in order, come by in 5 months. Come or don't come, but make sure not to shoot me again. It's such a pain to silence the room that quickly. The both of them simply nodded, still in a daze to what just happened. Sure, she'll handle the weird stuff of the world, but surviving a bullet to the head was more than weird. It's even worse than the whole problem because you can find a monster walking around but Naruto. He seemed to be untraceable. Alright, I'll see you later. Oh, and don't tell Fury about this, otherwise deal is off. End of flashback. Before we leave, I need you to leave your phone here. Don't worry, you'll get it back. I don't want anyone to find out about your aunt here. As Sharon left her phone in the bedside table before, Naruto took their hand and vanished with them. As soon as they were gone, 2 clones of Naruto came in and transformed into them. The 3 of them appeared inside of a well-furnished home. They were on the side of a mountain. Judging from the view from the outside, this is where we're gonna stay for the foreseeable future, said Naruto. Where are we, said Peggy as she sat down. Her frail body can't handle too much movements, especially the dizziness that came from the teleportation. We're in a safe house in Switzerland. A friend of mine owned this place. We got 5 head tiers of open mountain terrain that we can use to condition your body after the procedure. I think that's more than enough. What exactly am I doing here, says Sharon. You're my insurance. If Peggy died from this procedure, then I want someone here to make sure to tell Fury that she accepted this procedure. I don't want him blowing a gas stick if all of this fails. Sharon would have liked to berate Naruto for doing something that would have killed her aunt, but he'd already told him that this procedure might not work. What are you gonna do with my aunt, says Sharon. No, that's something I can't tell you. Only your aunt can know. Think of it as doctor or patient. Confidentiality, he said. I just brought you here so you know where your aunt will be staying. As he held her shoulder and vanished with her. The both of them appear right in her car, right in the parking lot of the hospital, as Naruto handed her phone. Try not to blurt out anything to Fury. You might trust him, but you can't trust the people around him. As he vanished once again, she thought about reporting this to Fury. She's a loyal agent, but not telling about a man claiming to be the Nine Tails. And he also have the first director of S.H.I.E.L.D. However, she was just gonna allow this play out and not tell S.H.I.E.L.D. As Sharon then realized something. How the hell did Naruto sign her out? She made her way back. Did you leave something? The receptionist asked. Yeah, she said, telling a lie. I forgot to tell my aunt something. As she signed him back, making her way to the room, wondering how he did it. As she went inside to see her aunt, sleeping on the bed. As she drew her gun and moved forward, as she aimed it on her aunt's head. Who are you, she said. Her Aunt Peggy slowly turned into Naruto and gave her a wink, before turning back to Aunt Peggy. It scared the shit out of her. It's like a scene straight from a horror movie. If you escape Bluffer placing everyone, who knows what will happen to her if she reported to Fury. Back at Switzerland, I brought her back to her car, said Naruto, as he pulled out a whiteboard and a marker. Now, let me explain everything. I'm only saying what I'm gonna do, and how I'm gonna do it. Do you still accept the conditions? Yes, she said, without any regret. Okay, first of all, I left a decoy in your room that will die 3 months from now. We need you to be entirely out of the picture so we can maximize the surprise, doing the counter-offensive. Secondly, if Coulson doesn't find Cap in 2 years, I'm gonna go get him myself. Why can't you just do it now, she asks. Because I'm still fixing some stuff before we can find him, and we need time for you to condition your body. When the captain is found, we need you to be ready for anything before revealing you to the world. Thirdly, we can't continue the procedure until we strengthen your body for at least a month. I'm going to visit you every day and leave, ready to eat meals and 3 bottles of nutrient shake that you need to finish every day. When we start the process, your body's gonna need a lot of nutrients. We need your body to stock up as much as it can. Fourth, during the respiration, we're gonna hook you up to a dialysis machine. Each cell of your body will either rejuvenate or be replaced. Either way, it's gonna flood your body with toxins. That's second to the most dangerous part, because the toxins in your body might cause a collapse of your organs. Collapsing organs are bad enough. What can be worse than that, she asks. Well, that's the last part. While the rejuvenating is happening, we need your soul and body to adapt to it. My soul? Yes, your soul. Your soul ages with your body. If it suddenly inhabits a body not suitable for it, there's gonna be some complications. The solution for that is the most problematic in danger we will counter. As we draw a human body, every one of us has chakra, the combination of energy from the body and soul. It's stored inside the body as chakra reserves, and it moves around the chakra network. Are you with me so far? He said, as he was writing on the board. She nodded, although she doesn't honestly believe what he was saying. Most people minuscule chakra network, or reserve, due to lack of use for hundreds of generations. It's just there to keep you alive. You can't exactly use it, and we can't do shit to reverse that completely. But what I can do is increase your chakra regeneration and expand it a bit. But it still won't make you do something like this in Naruto. As he create a ball of fire, or this, he then multiply into 3, or any other stuff I could do. But what he can do is control bleeding of chakra in your body. That will make you faster, stronger, and more resilient. Basically like Captain. Downside is one small mistake on my part could cause your body to explode. Do you get it? Said Naruto. Piggy sat there frozen. At first she was skeptical, but his demonstration made her a big believer. If chakra is indeed real, how did it get lost over time? And is it real at first though? She thought to herself, I'm just gonna assume that you got it and continue. First, I'm gonna temporarily remove your soul from your body. She became alarmed, however he placated her. Don't worry about that part, there's nothing that can go wrong there. Next, I'm gonna call upon King of Hell to store your soul temporarily. Again, don't be alarmed, the King of Hell will restore your body to your peak age before your soul is returned. That will exponentially increase the chance of everything going well. Now we get to the hard part. He just said that summoning King of Hell is nothing to worry about. She gave up on trying to understand this person. He was too far for her understanding. I'm gonna use a technique that would strip everything away. A muscle not activating, cells dying. It will be killing you each cycle because it will be replacing your cells each time. The process will continue until we reach a physical peak. At the same time, I'm gonna make the changes to your chakra system to help your soul adapt. When it's all said and done, you come out of it a bit weak but rejuvenated. It will take you at least 2 years to adapt, and 1 for me to teach you stuff. So that's pretty much it. I have 2 questions if you don't mind answering, she said. Depends on the question. How did you come up with the procedure and why are you doing this? The real reason, she said. I guess that is fair. The procedure is a combination of some things I thought might work. I started to test a lot of stuff for plants. I then move up to a mouse, a cat, a pig, then a chimpanzee. Then I move up to human test subjects. He saw her reaction but he just continued. When I do my mercenary job, I take 1 or 2 guys that would not be missed. Doing chakra enhancement without step-by-step procedure turned human into a literal bomb though, so things got messy. She paled hearing that. As for the second thing, my girlfriend had her ability to have kids taken away from her, and I want to give it back to her. I'm not doing this for me. Even if I know down the line we might end up splitting up, I'll still do it for her, said Naruto. Piggy thought about what he just said. You're in a relationship with a widow, aren't you? As Naruto started to laugh. Damn, you're really smart. Anyway, he said, are you ready to start? But guys, be insubscribed right here. If you want to see this person, do like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that bell notification stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends, your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the other what ifs over the other channels and enjoy guys. Anime King 3, Anime King, and Anime Prince guys. Yes, that's right. I have 4 channels. 4 channels that I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and check them out and yeah, enjoy. So without further ado, I'm off for now. See you guys soon. Peace guys.